Hi and welcome back to a new vlog. If you are new here, my name is Lucy. I'm a mum and a carer to everybody in my family unit. I am also on a weight loss journey and I've recently been unwell. So the people who have watched my vlogs before will know that the weight on the scale that I'm going to show in just a second is one that we've seen before, but to reiterate, I have been not just a little bit unwell but very unwell, and it's been a hot minute since I vlogged anything actually, but hopefully I never experience what it was that happened to me ever again. It was horrifically painful and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So let's get into the weigh-in. So this is my new weigh-in as of today. I'm gonna scoot it over here like I always do. I think the battery is low. It keeps reading low. I don't know, maybe that's... I need to have a look and... Oh, it didn't even let me step on properly before it decided to read. Come on, let's not do that. So as you know, if you've watched me do weigh-ins before, I like to move the scale just because I don't know if maybe there's like a part of the floor that's uneven. It just gives me a little bit of a median as to where I am sitting, because I can move it to one point and it will say a different number entirely, which is annoying. But yeah, with our flooring being the way it is, it doesn't surprise me in the least. 14.2 is most certainly not the worst number that could be on the scale. I'm trying to get back into doing things that I was doing before, things that I know work in order to get the number down. And so far it's looking good, so I'm really pleased with that. It has been over a week since I actually vlogged anything. A little bit disappointing, but given the fact that I was unwell, it was so typical. The day before I was intending to, start up a new vlog, I was hit by whatever it was that happened. But some things have happened also outside of me being unwell. We had a visit from Andrew's mum, and I don't know, like, some things came up in the conversation that have just, they really irritated me. And it seemed like she was on a bit of a roll and just saying everything and anything that she has clearly been holding back. And I know that coming on here and talking about family issues isn't exactly the best. It's not the course that people are supposed to take. But some of the things that were said were a little bit hurtful. I'm not gonna lie, they were. I feel like she doesn't truly understand what it is that Andrew is going through and has gone through with his psychiatric diagnosis, and linking that in with his autism. It's just, it's a lot for me to process, and sometimes not even I understand completely where he is coming from, and that's definitely a flaw on my part. But in all honesty, it just kind of felt like an attack, and it's really disappointed me because, you know, it's just, it really felt like an attack on him and our family and how we function, which probably to a lot of people outside of, you know, seeing me as a person, getting a little bit of an idea of my family unit, I could understand. Like if I was if I was the viewer, I'd be like, okay, this is an interesting way to go. But not everything is black and white at all. And I I don't know how to like process things that were said and process how to deal with them going forward. I get it. We do not live a normal life at all. I try to make things as normal as possible. But for somebody to know of the circumstances as to how we came to be in this position and know that her son isn't mentally great and still come up and say those things, it's really hurtful. I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna, you know, move past this. I feel like a wedge has been put in the relationship between Andrew and his mum, and definitely with me. I mean, it's one thing to have an opinion and have an honest opinion, but I feel like you can always make that opinion known or have a thought process behind that opinion without being hurtful, spiteful. There was a cherry on top of this conversation that I wasn't exactly best pleased with taking place in front of the kids because they were in here too. And I don't even know if I should say it. It was that awful. Okay. So she asked if Jagger would like to go and get his hair cut. That's how this came about. And I've offered for Jagger to go and get his haircut at the Turkish barber or, you know, wherever, just so he can get it a little bit zhuzhed up or whatnot. And he's he's always said no and never really made a big fussing about it. But apparently in Andrew's mum's eyes, the way his hair looks indicates more clearly that there's something, and I'm quoting, wrong with him. We don't treat Jagger any different in our household. We don't. Never have. Never would. Never will. He's just, you know, he's my little honey bun. He's Jagger. It's how he is, and I love him wholeheartedly. He is amazing, and he's perfect to me. Autistic and perfect in every way. He really is. He's so bright and funny and so gosh darn talented. So for Andrew's mum to say something like that about my son has really rubbed me up the wrong way. So I keep tapping my other iPad because I don't know, it's a little bit brighter with the ring light and the iPad on. But yeah, that for me was the cherry. That annoyed me a lot. And all this happened when I was in the process of recovering from whatever it was that decided to punch me in the stomach, pretty much. But really that's not even important. It's this whole comparison of our family unit compared to others within the wider family. I'm sure a lot of people have stuff like that happen in their families. I grew up in a pretty large family myself, and there was always spats about the most silliest things. But for me, and that highly inflammatory comment, I don't know how we're going to move past it, is ultimately what I'm trying to say. Jagger drew and coloured this in yesterday. Isn't it just amazing? Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of him. I said to him straight away, oh, I'm going to get a frame and put it in. And luckily, we already had a frame floating about. So, yeah, that's why it's in this one. And now it sits pride of place right next to the desk where Jagger sits.